I've never seen Dragula outside of a few clips on TikTok, and everything I've seen has been, how do you say, super gross. But Drag Race is over, and the last few seasons have been butt cheek, so I'm gonna see if this nasty ass show has some good TV under all that filth. Roll the intro. Fight! Okay, I need you to understand something, right? I'm editing this video right now, and I am doing everything within my power to make sure that you can hear what these f***ing bitches are saying. But bitch, I've gotten to the point where I have looked up on Google, Dragula is unlistenable. Maybe I didn't notice it that much because when I was watching the episode the first time, I had headphones on, but even when I had the headphones on, I was like, wow, this is a lot of sound effects, and they are loud. That's my other big complaint, these loud ass sound effects in like every single second of the show. In Drag Race, they have like at least moments where there's no background music, no sound effects. It's not very many, but they do have those moments. And when I watched Drag Race, I was like, this show is over edited and it's edited like a YouTube video. And now I'm watching Dragula and that's edited like a f***ing TikTok. This show is in its 6th season and I think they do an all-stars of some sort. How the f*** is this an issue? Someone has to watch this. Someone is clearly editing this. This is wild. This is a wild, stupid problem to be having on a show that's in its 6th season. And the reason I care so much is because if this show sucked, I wouldn't care at all. Who cares if a show is edited badly if the show sucks? This show is really good, and it has a lot of things about it that I think are a lot better than a lot of other drag shows. So why the f*** is it being edited like, I don't even know, like just bad, just edited badly? I did write a whole script about the whole episode and episode 2, so I will continue on with that video, but if anyone can get in contact with the people at Dragula or whoever produces that show, mama, this is crazy. And if you want to see my review of episode 2, head on over to the Patreon and get that double dose of drag commentary you've been fiending for. This little intro sequence they did was very cute, however it was long as f*** and very quickly got tired. It was an uninterrupted like 2.5 minutes. They do the entrances in a creepy theater, which is very cool. Yeah. And I told her, I said, anyway, the first monster we meet is Pie, and their entrance look is very pretty. Vivi the Force comes in next and is immediately mean as f*** and also stunning, so I think I know who I'm rooting for.
The first thing I see is this big Teletubby.
She also kind of looks like Evie Oddly, which is a huge plus for her. Next up is Desiree. Not only do I hate this name, I hate the costume. Yuri is the first Kiwi queen on Dragula, and they have a very familiar reaction to Desiree.
Oh, Desiree, she looks like a chicken.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that hates her costume, however I'm looking at what Yuri's wearing and I'm wondering if she has room to talk. Next up is Grey Matter, who I didn't think was hot out of drag, but for some reason their little goblin getup was making me feel things. Jaharia comes in next. I like her costume, and I like the fact that she also doesn't like Desiree.
Desiree, I don't know who she is, what she's trying to be, but she got a lot of mouth.
Let me tell you this right now, everybody I know has beef with a bitch named Desiree. Scylla walks in next, but not before her breastplate does, because it's hanging around her neck like a cheap necklace.
Oh, Scylla. She came in, her breastplate was showing. I thought you were supposed to hide the breastplate.
Yuri tries to drag Scylla's dress.
But it's not even just the breastplate. She couldn't fucking walk in that dress. I couldn't walk in my dress, but like, girl, that was stiff.
And I think ugly girls should be nice. I'm just kidding, she's not ugly, but the dress is basic as f***, and I don't like the wig, so maybe you pipe down, hun bun. Severity Stone comes in next, and I don't like this dress. Next, Anti-Heroine is next, and they are super talented, and I know that because they told us how talented they were.
I'd say Anti-Heroine is a jack of all trades. I do comedy, I do horror, I do sexy, and I do drama. And I think I'm just like entertaining.
We then find out that Scylla is actually Auntie's drag daughter, or Dragula ghoul. I don't know what the freaky terminology is.
This is my daughter, my little sweetheart. Oh my goodness.
I am so gagged to see Anti-Heroine here. She's my drag mom, and I'm through the roof right now.
I am desperately wishing that this means that we'll get to see Scylla send Auntie home, or vice versa. You don't tell us about drag family in the first act if we don't get to see them Cain and Abel each other in the second act. Asia Consent is next, and that's the best drag name I've heard in a minute. I haven't been talking about it because it's been boring, but they do these little intro walks down a scary hallway before they meet the other contestants. While Asia Consent is walking down the hallway, a little demon comes out and snatches her wig.
No! Not even 5 seconds into the competition, and this bitch snatched my wig.
And so, unfortunately, when Asia meets the other contestants, they have very good one-liners for her.
Asia, the mug was there, but the wig wasn't.
So did your wig fall off on the way in? Bitch is Dragula. You know how many people want to be here? Well, except for your wig, obviously.
First impressions are really important, and I guess it was important for us to know that they didn't bring a wig.
You want to talk about first impressions? Remember 5 seconds ago when your breastplate was hanging off your chest like tender meat off the bone? And remember right now when your breastplate is still sitting like a drunk girl over a public toilet?
Where's your wig at, though? Like, honestly.
I got robbed on the way here.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her for a second.
Aurora Gosmick has a face that annoys me, and they're from Chicago, so I know they're unbearable. And she's kind of a bitch, which I only like if you're stunning, and Aurora is pretty, but she doesn't look scary or cool, so she kinda looks out of place. Like, does Scylla look bad? Absolutely, but she also looks scary, and that's drag. Eula. Majesty's up next, and apparently they've already competed before, and they say their problem the first time around is that they were a huge cunt. So now they want to come back and be a good girl, and somewhere Fifi O'Hara is rolling in her grave.
On season 2, I was known for my viperous tongue.
You're a trigger-happy alcoholic. That's what I said, bitch. You gotta pop a Xanax every 10 minutes.
You're not gonna win, Dragula. But this time around, I'm looking to elevate what is inside of me.
I predict that Majesty will be even worse than before, and I can't wait to experience it for the first time. Their entrance look is perfect though, no notes. The wig, I want it. Desiree says that Majesty puts her off, which I find funny considering everybody in the room hates Desiree and they just met her. A beefy dude named Israel, not crazy about that name, comes to bring the contestants into the auditorium to talk to the winner of Dragula Season 5, Nero X. Y'all probably know how to pronounce this name, and I was waiting for someone to say it so I would know how to pronounce it, but the background music and sound effects were so loud, someone did say it and I just couldn't hear them.
There you go. There's Neo Voodoo, the current reigning drag super monster. She looks perfect.
Then we meet the Boulay brothers, or I guess I do because I've never seen the show before. I love that they're watching it in a movie theater and everything's so themed. There's an aesthetic and they stick to it. I love it. They tell the monsters that the challenge this week is to reimagine classic horror icons, but before they do that, they have to walk through a haunted house to find an immunity scroll. Two-State Solution comes back to lead the contestants to the haunted house, and the ghouls are shaking.
This is actually really scary. I did not expect this.
Yeah, it's a haunted house.
There's really no lights. I can't see.
Yeah, mama, it's a haunted house, mama. Severity Stone says they like scary stuff, but they don't like being scared. And I'm confused because how do you like scary stuff that doesn't scare you?
I love horror and I love scary stuff, but I don't like getting scared. So I'm a little apprehensive.
I know that there are people that like to be scared, but what she said makes no sense. Not gonna lie, it was pretty scary though. They're stuffing them in boxes, they're tasing them and sucking their makeup off, but Scylla eventually finds the immunity scroll, and Grey Matter says what we're all thinking.
Scylla finds a scroll, and good for her, because she needed it.
The next day, the girls get out of drag, and Pi says they have a cute cast.
We kind of have a really cute cast.
That's not what I was gonna say, but...
Oh, well.
I disagree with Severity. Despite being annoyed by a few of the girls, I would bang everybody, and preferably all at once. Grey Matter then asks the group how they feel about the haunted house, and Jaharia has several objections.
The haunt was terrible. This was terrible. All of it. I hate everybody. Thank you.
Pi says the haunted house made them feel at home, to which Asia Consent says,
I disagree with it being a warm welcome. They scalped me f***ing balls, bitch.
because yes, they beheaded my sister. They beheaded my sister. They beheaded my sister. They beheaded my sister? Scylla takes some time during this chat to reveal that she's not just ugly, but also a bitch.
I have something I'd like to say. Aurora, I am very surprised to see you here.
Why, girl?
I just feel like back home, I participate in the drag that is very celebrated on the show, and back home, you have a lot more opportunities to perform than I do, and yet I never see you take those opportunities.
Now, I know I said some things earlier about Aurora, but I take them all back because of this moment.
I think this whole narrative that, like, the glamour girl doesn't belong here is tired.
The head turns are iconic. Let's watch it again. Can we get a replay?
Tired.
Scylla says she thinks she's a glamour girl too, and we get yet another great reaction shot, this time from Asia.
I consider a part of my drag to be the glamour girl as well. Sometimes when I watch you,
Scylla then says that she's seen Aurora perform, and all she does is pick apples, and if you don't know what that means, look it up. It's an insult. Aurora says,
like, it's very just like, walking around, picking for apples, and
Well, sometimes those are the gigs, girl.
Icon. Scylla then says that sometimes you have to be a showstopper, and then Aurora says,
sometimes you gotta be a showstopper and gag audiences.
Well, when you're booked all the
excited
time, you don't have to be a
see you.
showstopper all the time. So I get when you're not booked all the time, that you sometimes have to do that.
I'm gonna have to start a new review show called Aurora Says. They move on to discussing what classic horror icons they're doing for the challenge, and two girls are doing Dracula, and I'm wondering if this is like when two drag queens are doing Cher at the club. You're doing Dracula tonight? No, mama, I'm doing Dracula tonight. You can be Frankenstein. Then they start working on their looks, and Pi is doing the sandworm, and I don't know what that is or what it's from, but I like the looks of what I see so far. Vivi is doing a kink-inspired look, and ooh, horny. We're about halfway through this episode, and I started to notice why this show looks so much better than Drag Race to me, and I mean the actual quality of the video. It's the lighting. Everything on Drag Race is so bright and saturated, it's visually overstimulating. Dragula has contrast and shadows. It doesn't feel like they're in a studio, it feels like they're in a real workroom using magic to turn themselves into monsters. Just aesthetically, they've hit the nail on the head with this show. Auditorially, they need to fire the editors. We move to the runway, which they call the floor show, which I love.
I didn't let my skin color keep me back from the. Yes, I didn't let my. Yeah, I didn't let my skin. That's what you have to do. Thank you so much.
We then see the Boulay brothers, and oh my god, I love seeing hosts of drag shows that don't have dementia. We then begin the floor show, and hilariously, this is more like a real runway than anything we see on Drag Race. They just played music, and we looked at the looks. They only showed Desiree for like 5 seconds though, so even the editors must not like her, bless her heart. So I was gonna start talking about the looks, but then I learned why they call it the floor show and not a runway. They all had little stunts and scenes planned. Gross as fuck, I loved it. Everything I saw traumatized me, and I can't wait to keep watching. My highlights are Asia Consent. She not only looked hot and scary, but for her number, she ripped a guy apart, but not before stringing him upside down with his legs spread, and yeah, you get it, it was awesome. Scylla actually surprised me with something simultaneously disgusting and hilarious. She just ate ass. She ate ass on stage, on the main stage, at the floor show. I also really like Majesties, but that's mostly because I think they're hot and I really like the concept of a post-apocalyptic Dracula. We go to the critiques, and the Boulays clocked that Aurora looked too pretty.
You can do glamour mummy, but you can't put all of your money on glamour and fall short of mummy. I don't think it was obvious and easy to tell that she was a mummy.
The judges then talk about Scylla and her vest plate.
She showed up with this breastplate that was unmasked, so it was just flopped on her chest and you could see everything. Why would you do that?
She got read for it, as she should have.
How'd you think she did tonight?
They hated her performance. I thought it was funny, but Big Boulay says that Scylla would be chopped right now if she didn't have that immunity scroll.
Scylla is the competitor who found the scroll in our Haunt of Terrors.
So that means she's not going home.
I think maybe that's the luckiest move that could have happened for her on this episode.
They live for Jaharia, but I don't really like the costume. It just wasn't scary to me at all. I can see pretty shit on Drag Race. I want to see that good, nasty freak shit. They bring the ghouls back to the stage, and the judges ask Scylla if she wants to use her immunity scroll, and you would not believe what she says.
Well, looking at the room around me, there's a few people that I think need it a little more than me.
Bitch!
This editing, I am screaming, and I'm actually starting to like Scylla. She's clearly insane, just the way I like them. Aurora gets bad critiques, and they show Scylla basically cackling. It's great. Severity gets pretty bad critiques, but the difference here is that the judges actually give clear and helpful advice instead of telling Severity she's a flop that needs to heal their inner saboteur.
What I saw was someone with a great inspiration, with really solid ideas that were just almost half delivered. For example, you licked the hook, but you could make that so much bigger, 10 times more theatrical and sinister and nasty.
Absolutely.
Auntie Heroine gets high praise, and Scylla tries to drag her, which is funny because that's her mother.
Call me crazy, but I couldn't recognize that she was supposed to be Audrey too.
Anyway, we find out the winner this week is Asia Consent, and I concur with the judges. The Boulays also reveal that this week the other contestants will be voting for who will be in the bottom. They start discussing things backstage, and they quickly decide that Severity is not the best.
This seemed a little bit basic. There's normal clothes going on. Like Salvation Army. Girl, you know what I mean?
Also, this may be Dragula, but it quickly becomes the Scylla show again because the girls start dragging her. Scylla says her outfit is a risk, and Grey Matter says,
I knew that this was a risk.
Why did you see it as a risk, though?
The outfit itself is a risk.
What outfit?
It's not.
Asia then asked Scylla if she thinks she would have been safe if she didn't have the immunity scroll.
So do you think you would have been safe without the scroll then?
I think so, yeah.
Then why did you use the scroll?
Because I didn't want to be in y'all's situation. I'm having a great time right now.
I really don't think her look is that bad. It's certainly a step up from her entrance look. However, I like that everyone else hates this look because watching them hate it was lovely. They come back to the stage and Scylla votes for Aurora, which was confusing to me because why does Scylla get to vote if no one can vote for her? That's unfair, but it's great TV. We then get to Majesty and this entire scene was wild. Roll it.
It hurts me to say this, but hi, I really thought you served it well, but your attitude about your placement was just really poor.
First of all,
I really thought you served it well.
Hilarious when you're voting for someone to go to the house, and then Pi says, please, what the fuck? I love everything I just saw. We then find out that Aurora and Severity are in the bottom, and for their fright challenge or whatever, they have to go swimming with the sharks. This is insane because I thought they were joking, but they're actually going swimming with sharks. They show how many sharks are in the water, and it's a comical amount.
All the sharks. They start circling immediately when we get there.
They're coming for us.
So they start swimming with the sharks, and I'm confused as to what they're supposed to do because they said that the challenge was to swim with the sharks, and they both did that. So we then see a very excellently produced death scene for Severity, which I guess means that she was eliminated, and very literally in this case. I really liked her little death sequence. Severity got her head bashed into a mirror by the little boulay. It was very fun. All around a banger of an episode. What? All in all, a banger of a premiere. All in all, it was a banger of a premiere episode, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of the season is going to bring. The show doesn't feel like Drag Race at all. I couldn't even make that many comparisons because it's a totally different thing. The show has identity and an aesthetic and a point of view that's very refreshing. I didn't agree with all of the judging, but I still respected the opinions because everything was explained, and so it didn't feel rigged, and I was able to just watch TV again. Remember, if you want to see my review of episode 2 of Dragula, head on over to the Patreon to get more this Sunday at the Honda Center. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so how many hours did that take? Oh my goodness. Please don't be broken. Oh, thank God. Oh, is that hard?